Hello out there. We have a bit of a treat for you today that comes from our home county, Mr. Willie Stargell, longtime player for the Pittsburgh Pirates with his number 8 jersey retired, Major League Baseball 7-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, 1979 National League MVP, 2-time National League home run leader, and native to Pottawatomie County is our subject for this video as we celebrate a hometown hero's accomplishments. Wilver Dornell Stargell was born on March 7, 1949, on a cold, blustery day in Earlsboro, Oklahoma, to Gladys Stargell. According to his 1984 autobiography, Stargell would relate his pride in his mixed ancestry, as his great-grandfather had been a black man born into slavery, while his great-grandmother was a member of the indigenous peoples of the Seminole tribe. Even as a toddler, Stargell retained vivid memories of his Oklahoma heritage, both good and bad, as reflected by these quotes from his autobiography. Simple pleasures were all the pleasures I knew as a child, but I am not ashamed. In fact, I'm proud, for simple pleasures are the best pleasures. My major playing area was a small dirt hill, located just off our porch. I could be found there almost any time of the afternoon, digging holes with my 2 rusty play spoons and pushing my small toys through the dusty Oklahoma soil. The biggest thrill of my day was when my grandfather would take me for a walk around the farm to see the animals, or when my mom would lead me in a game of hide and seek. However, Stargell also painted a more negative picture of his birthplace growing up in the early 1940s. For my mom, living in Shawnee was no day at the beach. She'd be forced to stay in Shawnee during the weekdays as a cleaning woman, only able to return on weekends. Though Shawnee had been the most prosperous city during the oil boom, it had become a victim of the Depression. Deserted makeshift housing, formerly constructed for oil company employees, defaced the town. The population shrank to its pre-boom mark. Shawnee was typical of Oklahoma at this time. The racial, historical, and economic makeup of the city paralleled that of the state. Both were basically depressed. After his mother remarried, Stargell was moved to California in 1944. Although Stargell said his mother missed the wide-open spaces of Oklahoma, the family was much better off in California. As a child, Stargell made one last visit to Oklahoma, which would unfortunately be the final time he saw his beloved grandfather, Will Stargell, who died before Stargell turned 7 years of age. Although he lived in Florida with an aunt for the majority of his childhood, he would return to Alameda, California to live with his mother, then attended Encinal High School, where his baseball teammates included future Major League Baseball players Tommy Harper and Kurt Maughton. Stargell signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates organization and entered minor league baseball in 1959. Stargell played for several farm teams in New Mexico, North Dakota, Iowa, Texas, North Carolina, and Ohio. While on the road with some of the teams, Stargell was not allowed to stay in the same accommodations as the white players. While in Plainview, Texas, he was threatened at gunpoint by a man who claimed he would kill him if he played in that night's game. Stargell played that evening and without any further incident. He might have quit baseball over the racial difficulties that he experienced, but was encouraged by letters from friend and baseball scout Bob Zuck. At the age of 22, and at the end of the 1962 season, Stargell was called up to the Major League and was the beginning of the 21-year stint with the Pittsburgh Pirates. That included 7 All-Star Game appearances in 1964, 65, 66, 71, 72, 73, and 78. Stargell captured his first National League home run championship by hitting 48 in 1971. Stargell's best overall season came in 1973 when he led the National League in home runs with 44, RBIs with 119, and doubles with 43, only to finish second in the National League MVP to Pete Rose. Although slumping somewhat for the next few years in the 1970s, he would rebound in 1979 for 32 home runs, allowing him to share the MVP honors with Keith Hernandez of the St. Louis Cardinals. Stargell's lifetime numbers are still on many major league charts to this day, like his 475 home runs, tied with Stan Musial, 4,190 total bases, 1,540 RBIs, and 423 doubles. In 1973, Stargell achieved the rare feat of simultaneously leading the league in doubles and home runs. Stargell had 40 of each, and the first player to chalk up this accomplishment since Hank Greenberg in 1940. Stargell was also beloved by fans and fellow players in Pittsburgh for his friendly and affable nature. Though he became known as Willie Stargell, his autograph suggests he preferred his given name of Wilver. Vin Scully, longtime Los Angeles Dodgers broadcaster, made a point of using his given name, claiming that because of him using Stargell's given name, he became Stargell's mother's favorite broadcaster. Standing at 6 foot 3 inches, with a large frame along with his unique grip on the bat, with his lower hand to provide extra extension upon the ball of the bat, Stargell seemed to be larger than most batters. While most batters used a simple lead-weighted bat in the on-deck circle, Stargell took to warming up with a sledgehammer. While standing in the batter's box, he would windmill his bat until the pitcher started his windup. Stargell retired from baseball in 1983, later spending 2 years as a first base coach for the Atlanta Braves from 1986 to 1989. Being inducted to the Hall of Fame in 1988 with his first year of eligibility. Stargell returned to Pittsburgh in 1997 as an aide to Cam Bonifay, the team's general manager, along with working as a special advisor to Pirates owner Kevin McClatchy, who called him the ultimate class act. However, after years of dealing with a kidney disorder, Stargell was hospitalized for 3 weeks in 1999 to treat an undisclosed medical problem with one of his organs. On April 9, 2001, Stargell died of complications related to a stroke compounded by his kidney issues. On April 7, 2001, 2 days before Stargell died, a larger-than-life statue of him was unveiled at the Pirates' new stadium, PNC Park, as a part of the opening day ceremonies. As his death occurred on the same day as the official opening of the stadium in a game against the Cincinnati Reds, the statue has served as a de facto memorial for Stargell, where it remains to this day. Willie Stargell may not have stayed in Potawatomi County for very long, but having the illustrious career he did in Major League Baseball makes his former home proud to call him one of our own.